My sister was breathless with excitement as she continued her story about the astonishing sight she had stumbled upon that morning. And that wasn't it, she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with delight. You wouldn't believe what came next. There was a line of 12 brightly colored birds. I think they were parrots, and each one had a small ringmaster standing on its back, waving little flags in the air. It was as if the entire street had turned into a magical tapestry of colors. Karim, who loved animals and magical stories, could barely sit still. Parrots with ringmasters? Are you sure you weren't dreaming? He teased. Oh, I promise you, Karim, I was wide awake, she insisted, nodding her head fervently. And just as I thought it couldn't get any more interesting, I saw something that made my jaw drop. A squad of jolly monkeys somersaulted by, wearing hats and playing tiny trumpets. It was the most joyful music I've ever heard, so joyful that everyone on the street stopped to take in the spectacle. Karim's mind whirred as he tried to picture the scene. He asked, were there any jugglers too? It seems like something a parade would have. Indeed there were, she replied excitedly. Following the monkeys, there were 5 jugglers. They were throwing fiery torches into the air, their faces split with wide grins. It was incredible how they didn't seem the least bit worried, even as the flames danced above their heads. Karim clapped his hands in glee. It sounds as though Hassan Street turned into a magical land this morning. I wish I'd been there. And it wasn't just the performers. A crowd of people followed them, clapping and cheering, some even joining in by doing little dances on the footpath. It was like a festival. Everyone seemed to have forgotten their everyday worries and chores, lost in the enchantment of the circus parade. Karim pondered for a moment, then said, that's just amazing. I can't believe I missed it. But I have to ask again, with all that wonder happening, how could anyone possibly think about going to school? His sister chuckled warmly. That's the magic of it, Karim. Even though it was just for a moment, everyone there, whether they were heading to school or work, was part of a grand adventure. As they both shared a laugh and ran wild with ideas of what other surprises might have marched down the street behind the circus, the day seemed to stretch ahead, glistening with possibility and adventure. After all, in a world where clowns could drive cars and monkeys could play trumpets, the possibilities were surely endless. And though Karim hadn't seen it himself, in his mind, it was as if he'd been right there beside his sister, witnessing the splendor with his very own eyes. The joy of the circus parade lingered, transforming an ordinary day into an extraordinary memory.